In today's Monday motivation video, we're going to clean and decorate the porch. Here we go. This is the small porch on the front of our home. It isn't much, but I love it because it reminds me of the porches on the homes at the Jersey Shore. The first thing to do was to clear it of clutter. I didn't remove everything from the porch because I have already started putting pots on the porch that I knew I wanted to use this season, but I did take off the other stuff that had kind of collected there. I also moved this little cafe table to a little spot to the right of the porch, which I will show you later in the video. We like to put it there because it extends the seating space of the porch. Once the porch was clear, it was time to do lots of fun projects to clean and decorate. But before I get into all that, I wanted to let you know that this video is part of a collaboration called 10-Minute Motivational Monday, sponsored by Simply Home with Sherry. I'll link her channel as well as the playlist with all of the other creators' videos in my description box below. The first project I decided to tackle was this little deck box. I like to plant flowers in here each year, and in case I didn't mention this, I love to do a red, white, and blue theme on my porch, so I plant my flowers in that color scheme as well. I wanted to get the old cocoa basket liner out with all the dirt, and I was struggling with it at first until hubby had the genius idea to take the box off the deck railing and empty it over in the yard. I got this new cocoa basket liner from Ace Hardware, and then I filled it with fresh potting soil. You don't have to always replace the potting soil, but because this is such a shallow container, the soil gets really depleted through the season, so I always just replace it. I won't get into all the plants that I chose, but some of the favorite highlights are Bacopa and Calibrachoa, as well as this really cool grass and a variegated geranium. It has white and green leaves with red flowers. I think it's going to look beautiful. I don't like to make my pots and containers too symmetrical. I think it's more interesting when things coordinate but don't match. And I think it's really important to vary the textures of the plants that you choose. So that's why I chose the grass, because it's an interesting thing for the eye to fall on. Once the deck box was full, I moved on to this little bucket that I keep to the left of my front door. It's a galvanized bucket, which I picked off the trash a few years ago. I added to it this beautiful dahlia. It's red and white, and it's very different than anything I've seen, as well as some blue flowers and a white petunia. I have the whole thing sitting on top of a milk can that I spray painted navy blue last year, and this stays out all year. Then I gave that whole little area a sweep, but that wound up being premature because I was going to do some more planting and wound up needing to sweep it again later. Then I brought out my little post box planter. I made this last year from a post box that I found at the thrift store, and I painted it white. I have a video about that. If you'd like to see it, I will link it above. And this year I decided to keep it simple, and I just put some wave petunias in it. Then I gave the whole area a sweep, again, because planting makes a mess. Probably should do it on the grass, but I never do. I recently painted this bench. It used to be at the end of my bed, and I didn't want it there anymore, so I gave it a coat of exterior white paint, and I love it here on the porch. And so I swept that off, and then I moved the bench to sweep behind it because dust and dirt, of course, collects all over the porch. But then I decided it really just had a coat of grime, probably in part because of all the planting that I had just done. So I grabbed my orange cleaner, which I get from the Dollar Tree. If you haven't tried this, you should. I absolutely love this cleaner. And I gave the bench and the railings a little bit of a wipe down with the orange cleaner. Next on the list was to plant in my popcorn tin planters, which I made last year. I have a video I will link above to show you how I did that. And I planted these up in a red, white, and blue theme as well. Then I had to plant this big blue pot. I love this big blue pot. I got it on clearance at a favorite garden center. And again, you'll notice that the plants I chose are widely varied. They have different colored leaves and different textures. I love that curlicue plant in the middle. I have ones that will spill over the side. I have bright greens and darker greens. I really like to make my pots interesting to look at. And then once everything was planted, I added in these 2 solar lights from the Dollar Tree. At nighttime, they add a little extra pop of light, and I always love the way they look. Then I gave the deck another final sweep down because, of course, there was dirt everywhere. There's no footage of this, but I did spray it down. We actually need to give our deck a fresh coat of paint, but that is a project for later in the summer. I wanted to add this flag bunting. I picked this up at the Dollar Tree for $1. It probably won't last more than a season, but I think it looks really pretty, and I'll probably keep it up at least until July 4th. I got my hubby's help and I just attached it to the deck box with these zip ties, and then my hubby got me a clipper so that I could just clip off the ends so that they wouldn't be visible. I took a few moments to plant in this vintage watering can, but I lost the footage. I absolutely love how it turned out. And I placed it and another vintage watering can near the milk can near the front door. With so many beautiful real flowers around the porch, I wanted to keep the wreath on the door quite simple, so I just got this scarf from the Dollar Tree and wrapped it around a grapevine wreath that I got from a yard sale last year, and I love the way it looks on the front door. And the last plant that I placed on the porch is this little ivy plant. I potted it into this little vintage flower pot that I got at a yard sale last year, and I placed it in this lantern that I got recently from Facebook Marketplace for $5. For this last decorative accent on the porch, I wanted to use a decorative shutter. Now, I've been seeing these all over Pinterest, so I sought some out on Facebook Marketplace, and I was able to find 6 shutters for free. So I went ahead and spray painted this one with navy blue spray paint. Prior to this video, I spray painted both sides of the shutter. I was going to paint the slats red and white, but then that would truly make this only for one holiday, and I figured if I left it navy blue, I would be able to use it for other holidays throughout the year. So that's what I did. So instead, I got this red, white, and blue burlap ribbon that someone sent to me, a subscriber from my other channel, and I used this ribbon to tie a nice, lovely bow around the shutter. Then I got a white star. Actually, it was a red star, and I painted it white and added that to the top, and this way I have a shutter that I can change when the patriotic holidays are over. Here is what the porch looks like now after all the cleaning and decorating. I love the way that it turned out. It's a cheerful space to spend some time in the summer months. I'm super excited with how it looks. I love all the red, white, and blue. I love the symbolism of those colors. There's that little table I was telling you about, and I just placed a little flower pot there, and it creates another seating area for us. And that's all that I have for you today. Be sure to check out the playlist for more 10-minute Monday motivation from other creators. And until my next video, thanks for watching.